Hey guys, how you going? Now, look, YouTube video today. Yesterday was the video. Today is a bit more Facebook orientated, a bit more Chinese orientated. No, I'm not a racist or bigot or xenophobic. I'm not any of those. I believe in equality, but this time, at the moment here, especially here in Australia, I need people to realise that it's good and well to share shit on Facebook. It's really good. It's great. You know, it's a massive community with friends. But Facebook's becoming the, you know, when you TV, right? It's becoming the next television, because everything now is just becoming an advertisement of what's going on. So everybody at the moment, like massive, people are sharing articles, they're sharing memes, and it's just like watching TV. And you know, get through the movie, 15 minutes, 10 minutes into the movie, not even, ad break. Let's, you know, fucking clever range knives, whatever. So I'm gonna take my glasses off because they're annoying me. So this will be a bit of a weird video because I don't normally not wear my glasses. So I'm seeing a lot of posts, people saying, boycott, China, boycott China. That's great. That's great. But make sure you do it, okay? Make sure you do what you say you're going to do. Like, make sure you're doing it. Like, if you go to the supermarket and you only want to buy Australian made, buy Australian made, all right? Don't even question the price tag, because then you're just questioning the integrity behind yourself and pushing it for it. It's no good to you going out there telling everybody in the country, or everybody on your Facebook, and you're buying fucking Asian noodles instead of whatever else there are, you know what I mean? Or, you know, at the end of the day, or you're buying, the things you've got to buy, if you want to do it, and you want to do it properly, you've got to do it, because at the end of the day, let's be honest, our government here is not going to do fucking squat. Now, I read somewhere, and I can't remember for the fucking life of me where I read it, but apparently, I'm going to go with apparently, because I can't find the source, but I did see it and I did read it, and I remember reading it. It might have been via Pauline Hanson, actually. She had something up about the Chinese. Do you know they actually own 25% of our assets? Either they own 25% of our assets, or they own very close to our 25%. That's huge. That's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of businesses. That's a lot of land. That's a lot of farms. That's what they do. They come over here. They buy out this, and that's what's going to be the problem at the moment. Is people don't see that's going to happen. People don't realise that will happen. Is that the Chinese right now are in a very good position economically to swoop on other countries' smaller managed and owned farms, and they'll pay big dollars to say, well, we'll buy it off you, and and there are going to be people that'll buy that, sell that, because they're going to see that as a freedom ticket out of this mess, okay, economically. Because the biggest issue we face right now isn't COVID-19. COVID-19 isn't the biggest issue now, okay? It was the biggest issue, okay? It's second now. Our economy is first, and I'm not joking. I did the video yesterday, and I spoke about restaurants and stuff. That's a part of the economy. You see, if those restaurants don't make enough money, they can't employ enough people, right? And enough people can't employ enough people. There's not enough people paying taxes, and not enough people paying taxes means that we lose stuff, right? So, you know, there's going to be a lot of people out there going, oh yeah, we should, like, you know, I can cut the dough, right? Okay, that's great. Let's cut Social Security. Let's cut it. Let's cut the welfare programs. But we can't, because then what happens is, what are those people going to do? You can't have people on the streets. Then you're going to lose your job. What if you lose your job? What if you lose it and you've used all your savings, and then you've got to apply for New Start or Job Seeker or fucking whatever, go and do Oz study, like go and do a fucking uni program, whatever you need to do to get that income until you get a job. You see, people sit here and complain about it. Yes, there are a lot of people that are on the system that have never had a job in their lifetime, But there are a vast majority of people that have paid taxes for a long time that deserve the right to be looked after until they find a job, especially right now. So what's going to happen is if we don't start doing the things that we need to be doing, which is buying up in the smaller supermarkets, buying up in the smaller, butchers, and going to the locals, man, going to the local outlets. Go to the cafe, man, and get a coffee. It's takeaway, who gives a fuck? But just go and get a coffee. Because that income keeps generating. So then that's it. Everything's an on-flow. I was explaining this to a friend last night. It's like if you get the dam at the top of the town, you go to the top of the, you go right up the back into the bush and way up there where there's no civilization much, it's just shacks and whatever, and you've got a big dam and it's full of water, right? And what happens is if that dam is shut halfway, right? This is how the economy will work. It's going to take a fucking long time if we don't hurry up and just accept the fact that we need to get back there. Because if we don't accept that, and we're all too scared and we're all too afraid, it'll be like having a dam at the very top of the town and we've only half opened it, and guess what? Only half of the water can get to the town. What happens if only half of the water gets to the town? Only half of the population will survive. That means they can only survive. Only half the population will be able to utilise water, shower, bathe, cook, clean, fucking drink, whatever. You know. At the end of the day, it's got to be smart. So if you want to boycott, and you're talking about boycotting China, fucking do it. Do it. Okay, me personally, we buy majority of our stuff here. Some things we buy that are, I don't even think we do. I'm going to have to check. Thank you. All right, I'm going to go check that. But I'm pretty sure we buy Australian made for most of our stuff. I mean, when it comes to food and perishable items and stuff like that, we're going to be starting to shop more at the butcher, because I don't like the fact that when I get a 500 gram chicken breast, and about 100 of that is probably fucking water. Fresh chicken breast, mind you. Fresh chicken breast, and 100 grams of that's water. That's a fucking joke, mate. That's a joke. That's not right. We're pumping shit into our food to get you're not buying a kilo of chicken. You're buying probably 800 grams, 750, and 250 grams of water, which is retarded. Don't you think? Don't you think it's retarded? Anyway, so that's the sort of shit that we'll talk about today. So if you're going to boycott, all right? You got to shop local. You have to shop local. Yeah, it's great to buy shit online. It really is. It's convenient. It's fucking easy. And right now we're only allowed to go and do shit if it's essential. And did you know the police can actually classify whatever you're doing as either essential or non-essential. It's at their discretion. So if he thinks that you're going to get a pair of socks because you need a pair of socks, get your feet warm, well, if he thinks that's non-essential, then he can just on the spot fine. So just remember, I mean, it's doing my head in being in this situation. It really is, okay? It really, really is. I just want you guys to remember that. Shop local. Go to the smaller guys, okay? The smaller guys that are open, support them. Because if you watch last night's video or yesterday's video, you'll see that even restaurants are going to take a massive hit in Australia. 50 to 60% revenue lost because of the app and because of the COVID and because of restrictions. A restaurant's going to lose 50 to 60% in revenue. People don't read that part of it. People just go, oh, they're going to lose 50, 60%. They'll have to cut back 50, 60% of their intake. Well, their intake is their fucking revenue. Their intake is you and me going there and buying shit off them and eating a pizza at Valentino's. So, and at the end of the day, that's not good for the local economy, because the local economy then doesn't. Everything's an on-flow effect. You got to remember that it's like a butterfly effect, you know, and it's a ripple. It's a ripple. You know, you throw a pebble in the water and it ripples, yeah. And throw a rock in there, I can get a splash and some ripples. That's what's going on right now. That's what's going to happen. So we need to support local businesses. You know, we need to support the guys that are open. We're going to support them people that are willing to stay open, because those are the guys that at the end of the day are trying to put food on the table for their kids. They're trying to put food on the table for their wives. They're trying to put food on the table for their, whatever their situation is. They're trying to live. And then I was watching another video about the on-flow effect of this, because if you don't shop there, if you don't buy local, spend local, do all that stuff, right? Especially now, right? That business then goes. Imagine, put yourself in the shoes of a business owner right now. Just close your eyes and just think, right? I own a business in town, and before COVID-19, we were pumping along. We were doing really well. We were selling out, we had full tables, we were booked, we were booked every weekend. We had to basically tell people that, no, sorry, we've got no tables for tonight. An example, on Good Friday down here the road, I watched a lady pull up on Good Friday, and she said, the lady said, have you made a phone order or an app order? And she's like, oh, no, I didn't know I had to. And the lady goes, but I can. And she went to do it, and the lady goes, well, she's the lady's better get on the app, get on the Facebook page, and I was standing right there, and the lady, the shop lady, the server, the worker, she said to her, oh well, that'll be and this is at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, like 5 p.m. And she said, oh, they won't be ready till about 7:30 p.m. mate. We're fully booked. If you were one of those business owners before COVID-19, that's not going to happen now. You're fully booked 100 people isn't going to be fully booked 100 people. You're fully booked 100. You're going to be fully booked 40 people. That's 60%. That's 60% right there. You're running at 40% capacity. You've lost 60%. It's simple math. It's not hard. So if you're only running at 40% capacity, and you used to run at 100% capacity, you've lost 60% of your revenue. Therefore, because you've lost 60% of your revenue, you've had to cut back staff, right? You've got them on the JobKeeper, that's cool. You've got them on the JobKeeper, that's fine. What happens when the JobKeeper runs out? What happens if we're still doing this into Christmas and into January next year? Because apparently we're not going to be able to do any of the normal life as it normally is not normal anymore until we get a vaccine, apparently, okay? It's all riding on a vaccination, which means that you will probably be ostracised if you don't have a vaccine. How are they going to know you got one anyway? All these questions are valid questions, and I get called crazy for thinking this. I get crazy for viewing it like this. I get crazy for thinking outside the box. Okay, so we're going to run at 40 to between 50 and 60%. It's going to be lost, and we're going to run like that. We're going to really focus on helping them businesses run at that capacity until we get a vaccine and then people are vaccinated. All right, that's great, that's awesome, but how are you going to know that everyone's vaccinated? Because everybody gets a choice. You can't legalise vaccinations. You can't. It's against human rights. It's against human rights. It's against the choice of. It's against freedom. It's against our freedoms. You can't. That's a human right thing. That is a human rights thing. I'm not pro or anti-vaxxer. Just remember that. I've said that thousands of times. I'm not pro or anti. Okay, I'm neither. I don't care. Okay, but if you've had that, I've read a post the other day. A lady in her 50s has never been vaccinated in her whole entire life, and in South Australia, they've just made it legal that you have to have a vaccination to be able to go visit your parents that are in a home, or your grandparents, or whatever. You have to be vaccinated. That's astonishing. You've just removed someone's human rights. And the person that they're going to see is suffering now because they can't see their family, because their family has never been vaccinated, never had a flu, never been sick, right, with the flu, never had a flu vaccination, and now you're telling that person to have a vaccination to go see their mum, as opposed, and it's real. This shit is happening. This shit is really fucking happening. It's amazing how many people just don't see it. I literally read it off the fucking page last night on on that video. I read it off the page. I clearly read it. I even digested it and then told you what that means. Okay, so this is an economic problem now. This is not a COVID-19 problem. Now, this is an economy suffering situation. This means that you don't need to be scared of COVID-19 anymore, okay? You don't. Why can you be? You can't. You're not allowed to go anywhere. Now, don't be scared to buy Australian made. Don't be scared to buy Australian made. I can't stress that enough. I can't stress ordering takeaway. If you used to go to a restaurant, let's go Valentino's here, and they're open now. I don't know if they're open or not, but just say they are. Anyway, put yourself in the business shoes. We'll finish that off first. Put yourself back in the business shoes. You own the business. You run the business. You're the manager. You're the owner. Whatever. You probably at a point where you don't own you own the business and you don't have anything to do with it other than just going in and checking in on it, right? Now you've just taken a 60% hit. What are you going to do? Right? And that hit's crazy. Now, because you've taken a 60% hit, can you afford the rent? Can you afford the power? Can you afford the water bill? Can you afford taxes? Will you be able to put food on your table? Not only just worrying about making sure your employees can put food on the table, but can you put food on the table? You too worried about that? Well, great, you're worried about them. That's amazing. Awesome. I love it. But what about you? What about you? There's going to be a point where you go and you're just going to break. You're going to be like, well, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this. This is not helpful. I've got to cut more people out. I've got to fire that person. I don't want to fire that person because they're a really good worker. And they're going to feel hard done by. It's even though it's not personal, they're still going to feel hard done by because you've let them go in the middle of a crisis. They're not going to be resentful because of you as a person. They're going to resent the situation for what it is, because it was a situation that forced your hand, and the likelihood of you getting that person back is nil. Really, it's like 0.1% chance, because that person now feels hard done by, and because now what happens next time there's a crisis? Will I get fired? Will I get laid off? It becomes an unknown. It becomes a fear. So now you've got one less employee, and then all the other employees around you are starting to think, shit, who's next? Because it's normal. That's normal. Most business owners don't run their businesses the way they should be run. I have a really good friend, and the business he works for is not being run very well. They're abusing the power. They're abusing the power of the system. And I can tell you that. They are. They are. And it's not fair. Because, like I said in the video last night, there are people that are going to be getting paid $1,500 a fortnight to stand around and do nothing. Now, if you're a business owner, do you want your staff standing there and doing nothing? Do you want your staff at home doing nothing but getting paid? Of course not. You want to have your business open. You want to have people coming in like they used to at 100 seats. You want to be packed house, because that's what you love. That's what you thrive on. That's what you're designed to do. If it's your passion, obviously, because I do what I love, and I can't think of anything more disappointing than not being able to hold a group session anymore. I can't think of anything more disappointing. I miss it. I hate it. I hate not having it. I hate not being around the people that I get to be around, because I'm not around them anymore. I'm on a Zoom, yeah. I'm on a Zoom, and we're doing a great job. We're doing an amazing job. Consistency is awesome, and they're applying their effort, but it's not the same. It's not. I'm a business owner. I understand this shit. It's not the same anymore. That's Zoom compared to being around them people in a physical sense is way different. Way different. Humans are designed to interact with one another. We're designed like that. That's how we are a social being. That's us. Okay? Do you know, hugging and shaking hands and high-fiving and all that stuff, that releases so many good things through your body. So many good chemicals. So many. A good hug can release some fucking magic. Not being able to hug the person that you love and care for because you couldn't be because you don't want to get vaccinated because that's your philosophy, but the government's telling you have to. That's not good for anybody. That's not good for businesses. That's not good for government. That's not good for people. It's not good for anybody. All right. A few topics there. I was supposed to really stay on China. Just buy Australian, mate. It's not fucking hard. It's really not. I mean, if you're getting the JobKeeper, you can afford it. If you're qualified for Centrelink and you can do it, you can afford it. If you can afford to buy Australian, mate, do it. All right. Stand by that. All right. Stand by it. If you share that shit on Facebook, stand by it. Stand by it. I mean, it's imperative. Right now, it is imperative because if you want the government to take notice, that's the problem. People think, oh, well, if I just talk about it, the government will take it. The government doesn't give a fuck right now. They don't care about anything other than what I just spoke about, which is the economy. It's true. It's true. Especially the Liberal Party. Liberal love money. They love it. They love to make it, okay? And they love to hoard it, and they love to store it, okay? Everywhere they can. Okay, Liberals' philosophy is the country needs to be in a surplus. We weren't even in a surplus before we just gave away billions and tens of billions of dollars. We weren't even in a surplus. It's funny, isn't it? Money just appeared out of nowhere. Who's going to pay that back? I wonder. I wonder who that'll be. It's a question. You just got to question everything. Ask yourself, hang on, does that make sense? No, it doesn't make sense. Why would that make sense? Why would I? If you don't believe in something, then it's okay. You're allowed to. I just love it. People think I'm crazy. I love it, but I'm not. I'm not. Anyway, I'm gonna go now, and I'll upload this video later because I'm running out of battery power. But take care. Look after yourself. Get some sunshine. Do some exercise. Please do some exercise. Do some huffy puffy exercise. Release the good endorphins. Be around your kids. I mean, I know it's frustrating. We've already been around them for so long, and we just want them to go back to school. And you know, at the moment, the power is in the people's hands. It really is. The power is in the people's hands, and the people don't realise that. In democracy, the power is in the people's hands. If you don't agree with what the government's saying, stand up and be a voice and be heard. Okay, it's not it's not science. It's not science in that. It's not scary either. It's great. It's great. It's gratifying to know that I can stand up to my government and say, hey, I don't agree with you, Scott Morrison. That's pretty retarded. Because I'm allowed to. It's my right. Okay? But more and more people accept the way it is, the more and more likely it'll be this way forever. And then how are you going to handle that in 10 years? How are you going to handle that in 5 years? If this is how it's going to be, imagine 5 years down the track. How are you going to cope? How are you going to deal with that? Just ask yourself questions. Ask yourself, does this feel right? Does that sound right? Does that look okay? That policy looks a bit chunky. Why does it look chunky? How come? Who do I need to talk to? Who do I need to raise the questions with? It's just, anyway, that's it. All right. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Please share, like, all that good stuff. You know, if you want to see more videos, you want to see more content, then please share the videos. Don't be scared to share them. I'm not scared to tell you to share them. So don't be scared to share them. Don't be scared of someone else's opinion based on something you've shared. That's how we form opinions, is by seeing all things from different angles and then forming an opinion. We don't just listen to one fucking person and go, oh, well, that must be right. No. There's a reason why fucking YouTube is censoring shit. Okay? There is a reason. Because they only want you to hear one side. They only want you to hear the narrative. I'm out.